If you live in Japan and you feel like no one's listening to you and like no one trusts you, it's probably because you haven't gained their trust yet. Today, we're in Nihonbashi, which is the historical heart of economy in Tokyo, starting from the Edo period through Meiji, and even until now. I want to talk to you about the connection between this place, my own personal story, and how it taught me everything that you need to know about how to earn the Japanese people's trust. Come with me, I want to show you around today. I really love the vibe of Nihonbashi. It has a lot of the old mixed with the new, but the old is rich, it's gorgeous, it's over the top. This really was the economic heart of old Tokyo from, like I said, about 350 years ago, Edo period through the Meiji period. Today, the reason we came here actually has more to do with Nihonbashi itself. Nihon meaning Japan, and then bashi or hashi being a bridge. There's a very famous bridge, probably the most famous bridge, possibly in all of Japan here. And that's where we're headed right now. Nihonbashi was the first major bridge that was built in the Edo period to create the first, I guess you would call it like a highway system in these days. And so since the time that it was built, all the way up until now, it's been basically the starting point of what is considered Tokyo if you're on the highway system. So even today, if you're on the highway and it says, 62 kilometers until Tokyo, it's actually saying 62 kilometers until Nihonbashi, until the bridge itself. So how this ties into my personal story is a lot to do with me learning how to drive in Japan. When I first came here, they still had something called kirikai menkyo. So kirikai menkyo, kirikai means to switch over, and menkyo is like the driver's license. They don't do it anymore, unfortunately. Sorry, guys. So for a very cheap price, I could take a foreign driver's license, pay some money, answer 10 simple questions like, I should stop at a stop sign, yes or no. And if I could answer correctly, then I would get my new Japanese license. So I got my Japanese license and I started driving right away. I was driving big trucks and big vans for my taiko team, my wadaiko team, as we performed and toured all over Japan. And to be honest, although it was great driving around and seeing all sorts different parts of Japan, I started to feel a bit like slave labor. Because we were carrying around these big taiko drums all over Japan, we can't just put it on an airplane every time we have a show. So we load it into cars and trucks and basically take the highway and drive everywhere. So when I was first learning how to drive, I actually had to learn the road system starting in Nihonbashi. My teacher, my sensei at the time, was anti-GPS. He said, if you live in Tokyo and you're working in Tokyo, you should know the streets well enough that you can just like drive anywhere like a taxi driver. I don't want you using GPS. So we didn't have a GPS system in the car, car nabi. We didn't have car nabi. And instead we had these old, they're called Apple, books. They're like these huge map books. You open it up and it just looks like a circuit board on steroids when you open up these thick books of just maps of Tokyo. And so I was totally overwhelmed, and they said, it's okay, start at Nihonbashi. Because Nihonbashi is ground zero. Everything is measured from there. That's where the road started in Japan, and that's where you can start. And so this is where my journey started of learning how to drive in Japan. I had to drive everywhere. I had to drive my teachers, my senpai, sensei. I had to take them everywhere. I felt like a chauffeur. And early on, to be honest, I felt like I was being taken advantage of. It didn't feel good. We used to do far trips. From Tokyo, we drive to Shikoku, all the way overnight. It's a 13-hour drive. The highway has been developed a little bit further, all the way to Ehime, so I think you can get there in 10 hours now. At the time, it was a 13-hour drive, which we did all night. I'd play a show the next day. I would just be dead while everyone else had, slept in the car. And I just kept thinking to myself, man, this is so unfair. This continued for years, whether we're driving a 13-hour drive to Ehime or an 18-hour drive to Kumamoto. It was just all the time. And these bitter emotions that came up in me, feeling like, why does no one listen to me? No one trusts me. They use me and abuse me. And it wasn't until one day, probably about 2 or 3 years later, that my sensei kind of, we drove somewhere and I stopped. We were a little bit early. We went in, got some coffee. We're sitting down and he says, you know, you've been driving enough now. You know the roads in Tokyo. So, you know, if there's a gig or there's a show or there's a workshop or there's something you want to do, you can take the car. You know, why don't you and just some of the young guys, just take, you know, like 3 or 4 of you guys can go do a show, you can drive. And then it hit me. I was like, wait, what? I can use basically the group cars however I want to. I can go get my own gigs now. And it dawned on me at that moment that this whole time I was being tested. I had like my, everyone knows the Karate Kid, Mr. Miyagi. I had my Mr. Miyagi moment. The same way Mr. Miyagi used to have people like, you know, he had Daniel-san painting the fence and stuff. I was painting the fence by driving the car for these 18, 20-hour drives without sleeping all over Japan, earning trust over a period of 2 to 3 years. I was expected to show my konjo. Konjo is a very, very important word in Japanese that basically means showing that you got some cojones, you got some guts, you got some, yeah, let's run across the street, here we go. I had to show that I had guts, I had konjo. Because if you could show that you had konjo, then people can trust you. One thing that you'll find out when you move to Japan, earning trust and earning people's trust is a matter of time. And that's because it's not a logical thing. People make this mistake when they think of the Japanese people as being these cerebral, robotic people, when in actuality, nothing could be further from the truth. The Japanese people, the Japanese culture is very much a language of the heart. It's a culture of the heart. And if you want to speak to the Japanese people, you have to speak to their hearts. Now here we are on Nihonbashi. We actually got here. This is the real deal, Nihonbashi. This is ground zero. The highway system built, I don't know, about 50, 60 years ago was unfortunately built over the bridge, but this is the original bridge. It used to be wooden. You can find, when they rebuilt Haneda Airport a couple years back, they made a mini version of the original Nihonbashi. So if you go to Haneda Airport, you can see what the original wooden structure looked like. This was rebuilt later on in Meiji. So anyways, back to my point. Earning trust in Japan is a matter of showing your konjo and is a matter of time. So if you aren't willing to put in the time and to suffer and to show that you have some cojones, you have some guts, you have some konjo, then you will not earn people's respect. Because respect is not logical, it's really just, it's part of that love language of Japan, it's a language of the heart. This was something that there was a guy that actually started in the group. He was another young guy about the same age as me. And he understood from the beginning. We used to go on these drives, you know, to faraway places, and we'd have these 2 big trucks, or these 2 big like vans, and he would drive one, I'd drive the other. We'd pull into a stop, and our sensei would say to us like, "Koutai suru?" Like, do you want to switch? And my other friend, he understood this game. He knew it. He's Japanese. He would say like no, heiki, ore zenzen ikeru. I'm still good. I can go. And I would do the same thing. I'd say, well, all right, if he's good, ore mo heiki. Ore mo daijoubu. Zenzen ikemasu. And looking back, I kind of owe him, because at the time it wasn't me trying to earn trust. It was me just trying not to lose to this guy. Which is okay, that also shows konjo. But so that's the connection between this historical district in Nihonbashi, my own personal story, and hopefully a lesson that everyone can benefit from when it comes to earning the trust of the Japanese people. Japan can be a tough place to live and a tough culture to understand. So if you benefited from this content, please go ahead, subscribe, like, share with your friends, and we'll try to put up a new video every week. I'll try to share some more tips with you, and hopefully we can all start thriving in Japan.